So a lot of people ask me about the kind of cars I work on and what's my favorite car. And I think that there's been some collections of cars over the years, and I've worked with different car owners. One of the clients, and I like to keep his identity protected because I respect my client's privacy. But this collection that this client owns, and we'll call him V, Mr. V, he's got incredible taste. I mean, we've got vintage Ferraris. He's got a red and black Testarossa. He's got a Pagani. He's got a Koenigsegg. He's got a 2008 or 19, I believe, Ford GT. He's got a 2006 Ford GT. He's got everyday car like a Model Plaid S. He's got a GT 500 Super Shelby, put over 1,000 horsepower. He's got a pickup truck in his collection, which is for pulling his boat or his toys. And he's got a 296 on order coming in, a Spider. He's got an F8 that we just completed, which was a Spider. That's another car. And he's got a SF90 coming in, black on black, that we're going to be working on. And his love for cars is amazing. And we have built a great relationship with him because he understands the importance of protecting the investment. I mean, think about these cars are millions of dollars. And he doesn't want just anybody working on his cars. Obviously, if he's got the best taste for the best cars, he wants the best person who's qualified to do the work on the cars. And we feel honored that he trusts us to work on this collection. He's just an interesting guy. And if you met him, he was a blue-collar guy for a long time who worked his ass off to build his wealth so that he could afford to drive and experience these kind of cars. And, you know, Ed and I talk a lot about entrepreneurship. We both came from nothing. We went to school. We came out of college. We had a degree. But we realized that after working in the corporate world, that this wasn't going to be our path. We have had access to different car rallies, from celebrities to successful business owners. But you know what? One thing that we all share, that we all have in common, the love for cars. It started when we were children. So you think about it, like when Ed and I go on Gold Rush and we're meeting different people and different fans, I think one of the things that I enjoy, and I think Ed does too, because he's a family man, is that these little kids come out, I mean, little, 2, 3 years old, and they look at the cars and they just smile. And then when we open the door and we put them in the seat of the car and they put their hands on the steering wheels, that connection, it never leaves. It's there forever. Some of those kids who are our fans are now part of Gold Rush and they're driving these cars. I think the passion that we share with our fans, the people that love these stories, it helps them know that, inspire that you can do this too. And I think that more people need to understand that if you're willing to invest in yourself and invest in a dream and believe that the dream is true, that anything can be possible. But it comes down to your mindset of what you think you want. And if you know you love cars as much as Ed and I do, then what can you do in the car industry that can make a difference? What can you do to entertain? Because think about it, we tell stories, and these stories are based on our love for cars. And so when we share these stories with you guys, it helps us, fuel us to tell more stories and come up with new things that you guys can connect with and be part of this experience. So when I started to build a relationship with Mr. V, and Mr. V wanted me to work on his cars, he was very direct with me, which I like direct, because then there's no trying to figure out what he wants. And when he came to me, he did ask me my opinion on things. And I said, honestly, with what you want to do, I would just PPF the full nose of the car, maybe some lower pieces on the car, and then I would ceramic coat it. And that would be it. And obviously we'd paint correct the cars that needed before we work on them. And he looked at me and he said, listen, I appreciate your advice, but I like it one way. I want every car corrected. I want every car completely PPF'd. And I want every car ceramic coated from head to toe. And I know that you're trying to save me money, or you're telling me I could save money, but that's not what I want. So if you can do what I want, this relationship can be a good relationship. But be very clear, my standards are extremely high. And I am price conscious, but at the same time, I don't mind spending the extra dollar to get that extra level that nobody else has. And if you can do it, this will be a great relationship. And that's what I'm looking for. So we're going to start off with a couple cars. And if you can do it, and I like it, then we'll continue the relationship. Sound good? And that's how we moved forward. The relationship has turned into a friendship. and he's got some upcoming projects that you guys are really going to enjoy. He's got the first Pagani convertible coming in. He's going to be the first owner here in the United States, and he's got some other toys coming. So you guys are going to see some really cool content, and we're going to share those stories with you guys when we get those cars. We had mutual friends in the automotive industry. The guy that works for him, he's his curator, Joe, had a mutual friend of mine that did all my photography for Glossip over the years, and he no longer does it. And Joe and Josh are really good friends. And Josh introduced me to Joe. And then Joe had a conversation with me. Initially, he came to our office and said, Mr. V, he would like to come meet you. I'm going to bring him to the office. You guys can have a conversation. He's going to test you out and see if he likes the work you do. And if he does, we're going to bring a lot of cars to you, and it's going to be ongoing. And that's kind of like how the relationship now, going forward, after we started producing some of this content, we told the LaFerrari story, the P1, Mr. V had been watching some of the content and was aware of the LaFerrari story that I did with Ed. And so that kind of raised his radar. I was on his radar, let's say, because he knew who I was of the work that I've been doing. And that got his curiosity to really give us an opportunity to see if we could build that relationship. So for example, on the LaFerrari, we spent well over 1,000 hours, man hours, executing a job that only, I believe there's 3 of us now. We've got Topaz in London who does work like we do. Phenomenal facility, phenomenal guys. They did a pearl one and we did a black one. And I just learned recently that Jason from Chicago Auto Pros had done the same black LaFerrari, but in stealth film. And there's not many people that can execute this kind of job on this kind of car because of the liability, because of things can happen. And when you put yourself in that space, you're taking a big risk. But also on the other side is a big reward to know that you did something that not many people were able to do or execute. When we initially finished the LaFerrari, Mr. V was traveling. We knew that he wasn't going to be back for a few weeks, so I was kind of nervous because normally when you do a car of this level, you want to deliver it to the customer right away. So if there's any questions or any issues that can be dealt with right away. And we didn't have that opportunity. We had to wait and wait and wait for Mr. V to get back to actually look at the car. When he got back, he said, looks great. And we knew that there were no problems, which was a good sign. And if there is a problem, he is not afraid to call me on my cell. I don't care when it is, he's gonna let me know. And so far, thank God, I haven't had that phone call, and I hope I never do.
When you get a ticket, no matter where it happens, it's more important than ever to fight every one. And the perfect partner in that fight is the Ticket Clinic. When you get a ticket, you're facing costly insurance premium increases, points on your license, fines, risk of suspension, jail time, and they can help you avoid all of that. They've got offices in Florida and in California, but they can help you fight a ticket through their network of attorneys no matter where in the United States you get one. You can text a picture of your ticket to 305-305, or you can check them out now at the link in the description below. So thank them for their support of VINwiki, of CarTrek, and fight your ticket with the Ticket Clinic.